You need to hear this if you love spine-chilling tales. Imagine a place where every shadow hides a secret and every whisper carries a warning. This is not just any story, it's one that will linger in your mind long after it's told. Ever wondered if the woods hold secrets? Secrets so dark and ancient that they defy time itself? The forest is a living entity, breathing and watching, waiting for the right moment to reveal its mysteries. Here's one that'll haunt you. A tale that begins innocently enough, but soon spirals into a nightmare. A story that will make you question every rustle of leaves and every creak of wood. Deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a group of hikers stumbled upon an old, forgotten cabin. It looked like it had been abandoned for decades, maybe even longer. The air around it was thick with an unsettling silence, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Its dusty furniture and strange carvings sent chills down their spines. The carvings were unlike anything they had ever seen, almost as if they were warnings from another time. The air inside was cold, unnaturally so, and it felt like they were being watched. But it was the swaying rocking chair that truly unsettled them. It moved with a rhythm that seemed almost deliberate, as if an unseen force was pushing it. The creaking sound it made was like a whisper echoing through the empty cabin. As night fell, the whispers began. They were faint at first, barely audible, but they grew louder with each passing minute. It was as if the forest was coming alive, its secrets unraveling in the darkness. Mark swore he heard faint voices calling his name. He tried to brush it off as his imagination, but the voices persisted, growing more insistent. It was as if the forest was trying to communicate with him, to draw him deeper into its mysteries. Meanwhile, Sarah was transfixed by an old family portrait. The eyes of the figures in the painting seemed to follow her, their expressions changing ever so slightly. It was as if the painting was alive, watching her every move. She could have sworn the faces were changing. Suddenly the serene expressions turned to ones of horror, as if they were warning her of an impending doom. The door slammed shut. The sound echoed through the cabin, sending a wave of panic through the group. They rushed to the door, but it wouldn't budge, as if an invisible force was holding it shut. The group frantically searched the cabin, uncovering names carved into the walls. Each name was etched with a precision that suggested they were more than just random graffiti. Each name matched a missing persons report from decades ago. The lights flickered. The realization hit them like a ton of bricks. They were not the first to find this cabin, and they might not be the last. The rocking chair moved violently on its own. It was no longer a gentle sway, but a frantic motion, as if something was desperately trying to break free. Shadows danced across the walls, and the whispers grew louder. Then Sarah screamed. Her voice pierced the silence, filled with a terror that sent shivers down their spines. The family portrait had changed again. This time it included the hikers. Their faces were now part of the painting, their expressions mirroring the horror they felt. Panicked, they fled into the storm, running until their lungs burned. The forest seemed to close in around them, its branches like skeletal hands reaching out to grab them. When they finally turned back, the cabin had vanished. It was as if it had never been there, swallowed by the forest's dark embrace. They stood there, gasping for breath, trying to make sense of what had just happened. The forest was silent once more, its secrets hidden away. Remember, sometimes the past refuses to stay buried. The echoes of history can reach out and touch the present in ways we can never fully understand. The woods may seem peaceful, but they're filled with secrets waiting to be discovered. Every tree, every shadow holds a story, a fragment of a past that refuses to be forgotten. Will you be the next to uncover them? The forest is waiting, its secrets ready to be revealed to those brave enough to seek them out. But beware, for once you enter, you may never be the same again.